And we're on. Welcome. Happy Friday. If you're new to this channel, let me introduce myself. My name is Logan. This is Timeless Personal Growth and Development. Fitness, episode 6, and today we're talking about rucking. For those of you who don't know what rucking is, it is generally an exercise that the military uses to train soldiers. When soldiers need to go on long rucking trips, they got their rucksack, their backpack, they got all their gear, they got their food, they got their water, they got their rifle, everything. It's a training exercise that they use in military training to train soldiers, because you got to put a rucksack on and you got to march for long periods of time. And during when I was doing my basic training about 10, 11 years ago, like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I've been some pretty intense training. Different kinds of training. I've running, swimming, mountain climbing, lifting weights, doing all sorts of boxing, kickboxing, all sorts of different things. Rucking was absolutely the most painful exercise I've ever done. And not that you need a whole lot of, like, it's not a big burst of energy that you need to use in small increments of time. It's just, it's so long, and especially in military training, you can go on these marches, these rucking marches, and it lasts such a long, like hours, like literally an entire afternoon, 4, 5, 6 hours of doing that. You stop, you take a knee, you take a 2-minute water break, and get up, and you keep going. And it's also doing it in the worst kind of weather and the worst kind of terrain too. When, like, middle of the summer and you're training and you got so much gear on you. It's like 30 degrees, but you got so much gear, and you have your uniform, and then you have your rucksack, and then you have your tack vest, and then you got your helmet. You got so many layers underneath in, like, 30-degree heat. It's length of time and the amount of stuff you got to carry, and depending on the weather could really make it feel okay and incredibly long and exhausting. And it's excellent cardio, very good cardio. Will strengthen your legs, will strengthen your back, strengthen your shoulders. And one of the key things during rucking is make sure you have good footwear. Because when I first got into the military, when I started my training, they wanted, you get your uniform, you gotta get all your gear for the first time, and I was sizing on boots. I needed the right kind of boots, and I made the mistake of getting boots that were a little too big for me. So, and I had extra room in the boot for my feet. So when I was going on long marches, my feet weren't snug in the boot. My feet were just, it was consistently grinding on the edges of the boot, which caused severe blisters on my feet. So if any time, like, even if you're rucking as a civilian, even in just your everyday life, if you're going rucking and going up a long march up a hill, make sure you have good footwear. You have good socks, especially in the winter, because your feet are going to sweat. So you want to make sure you have good layers of socks, especially now it's winter time. Make sure you have good footwear, good socks, and make sure your feet are properly fitted for the boot, your shoe, whatever you're wearing. Because if it's too small, it's gonna cause blisters. If it's too big, it's gonna cause blisters as well. Like, you need to, like, the most pounding your body, any body part will take, will be your feet. Your feet are gonna get absolutely wrecked. To prevent that to happen as much as possible, you want to make sure that you have proper gear on your feet. because that's going to hurt the most, and it's going to have a lot of wear and tear on your feet. So if you're training for the military, if you're training, or if you're just doing it for fun, just trying to find different creative ways to exercise, since we can't be in gyms anymore, we got to be creative and think of creative ways of exercising. If this is something you guys like to do, make sure you have the proper footing. Very important, proper footing. I have my rucksack here that I use, and one of the key things is the straps too. So you have the shoulder straps as well. You have the right here. You have the waist strap as well. So the key thing for the straps is make sure the shoulders are tight. The shoulders are completely tight, locked on your shoulders. But you want to make sure the waist strap here is tight as well. Because if you're only putting the shoulder straps on, only the shoulder straps, it's going to pull your shoulders down. Because if you pack like 50 pounds in this thing, and your shoulders are going back, 50 pounds are going to pull your shoulders back. By putting the waist strap on, it prevents it from the weight falling down onto your back, and it literally glues all the weight in the rucksack right onto your back. So you want it to tighten all 3 straps. Actually, there's 4. Sorry, my mistake. There's 4. You got the 2 shoulder straps. You got the waist strap. Make sure that's tight so it's glued on your back. And you got the chest strap as well. You want to make sure that the straps are nice and tight, glued to your body, because you don't want to be, especially you got 50 plus pounds in a rucksack, you don't want to be pounding that weight up and down hills and having your shoulders just pulled back on all that weight. You need to have the waist strap as well, so it's glued onto your waist. Why? So it relieves some around the weight and balances the weight evenly on your back. So it's glued directly to your back, as well as tightening the chest strap as well. And you can pack whatever amount of weight in it. That bag I got from Amazon. And you can pack anything. If you're going on a long hike, pack some food, pack some water, pack some gear in there. I only go up marches for about an hour, so if I want to make it extra heavy, I throw some books in there. I throw some old college books in there to make it a little bit heavier. Pack some water, pack a little bit of food, and get it on and go rucking up the hill. Also, you want to make sure that you're layered properly, especially whenever you're working in any different kind of weather. Like I went this morning and I overdressed a little bit. I always make sure especially now it's winter time, and I overdressed, and you start sweating underneath, and you really get sweaty underneath, and it gets uncomfortable underneath your jacket, your sweater, your t-shirt, and you feel the sweat starts irritating your skin, and you just have this enormous desire to want to take your jacket off and your sweater off and let your body breathe. Don't do that, especially in wintertime. If you get hot, take a break, take the rucksack off, take your gloves and your hat off, but don't take, as uncomfortable as it is, don't take the jacket off, because here, your core, where your heart is, that's going to be your warm spot. That's what's circulating all throughout your body. So if you want to just take your hat just to get a little breather because you're sweating underneath your hat and your hands are sweaty, that's fine. But you want to maintain heat in the proper amount to keep your core temperature level high. If it's really, really cold and then you take it off, all that sweat's going to freeze, and that's how you're going to get sick. Always make sure, as uncomfortable as it is, sometimes you're just dying to take because you've been rucking for half hour, 40 minutes, you just want to take that off. Don't take it off. Take it off when you get home and you're indoors. You want to keep that core temperature stable, and make sure you're not freezing up in cold weather too. As tempting as it is to take it off, don't. And yeah, and that's pretty much it. Make sure, if you're going rucking for whatever reason, if you're doing it in the army, doing it in the military, if you're doing it just in civilian life, proper footwear. Make sure you got the right rucksack, and The straps are on, shoulder straps, tighten the waist straps, tighten everything, everything's secure. You got the proper gear, you got the water. Always like bringing a little bit of trail mix on it too. And go challenge yourself. Always like going up to the mountains and going up to the woods and going up in that environment and push yourself. If you get used to running, not going into a full-on sprint because that can be hard, but if you're going into a light jog in a rucksack, try doing that for a couple weeks, 3-4 times a week. And then just go running without any rucksack and feel the difference. You'll feel the difference of how light your body will feel. It'll feel very, very different, and you'll be surprised. Like, you won't even be aware of how like in shape you're actually getting with the carrying 50-60 pounds on you. And if you're doing it for the first time, just walk briskly. Walk briskly, get some food, get some water in your bag, pack a lunch, go up the mountain, go through the woods, get your headphones on and listen to a podcast, listen to an audiobook, whatever, and just enjoy yourself, because now gyms are closed and we've got to find creative ways to exercise. So find creative ways, try to adapt, and I will see you all in the next video. And thank you for watching. If you like this video, if it was of value to you, like, subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Logan Ryder, Timeless Personal Growth and Development, and I will see you all in the next video. Next video I will be talking about the differences between good stress and bad stress. And I will see you all in another life.